Blake, here we are. Who would have thought almost 10 years ago that we would be standing here today under this tree exchanging vows and saying, I do. I actually knew right away before I even saw your face that there was something special about you. Standing from across the room, I felt an energy that said, I think I want to meet that guy. In the minutes and hours that followed that night, I knew something special was taking place that was a part of God's divine plan for my life, for our lives. Almost 10 years ago, and lots of life later, here we are. We have definitely weathered the storms together, and literally, this one here in particular will probably go down as the most memorable.
Corina, where do I begin? There's so much that encompasses who you are and what you mean to me, and how much today means to me, as the next chapter of our ever-evolving story continues. The moment I met you not only took me by surprise, but took me to places I had never been, but always knew I should be. When I got home from meeting you almost 10 years ago, I said, man, I met this girl this weekend. It's crazy, but I see through her the man I'm supposed to be. I can't explain it. I couldn't explain it then, and I can't really explain it now. But all I know is that it rings true just as much today as it did then, if not more so.
There are so many things that I want to say to you today, Blake. But mostly, I want to say thank you for loving me, even when I was not my best self. And thank you for never giving up on us. You are my best friend, my lover, my counselor, and the yin to my yang, and I could not imagine doing life without you.
10 years ago, I was 40, and I'd lived 3 lifetimes worth of living just at that point. I thought I'd grown, and I had, but inside, as I always knew, I had more growing to do, more evolving in which to ascend. And I also knew that 10 years later, I'd look back at my life knowing, man, you didn't do squat. It's been that way my whole life, and I expect that trend to continue until my earthly time meets its end. But what I do know is that I want the rest of that time to be spent with you.
Though the road has been long getting to this day, God knew what He was doing when He introduced us. Some time had to pass before we could grow to be the people we needed to be to give our lives completely to one another. I am thankful for that journey. You complete me, Blake Hawthorne.
Corina, you've challenged me, you've loved me, you've fought me, you've laughed with me, you've cried with me, and I with you. You've given me your heart, and I with you. You've shared with me your family. You've trusted me with yourself and your children. You've opened up the opportunity to hear something I've thought for years I'd never hear. And that is to hear, hey Dad, which other than I love you, and hopefully I do here shortly, are the best words I've ever heard. I can't thank you enough. I just can't. What I can do is promise you in front of God, our family, our children, our friends, that I will give you all that I have, all that I am, and all that I can become. You have my heart, you have my body, you have my everlasting devotion to be the promise that you saw in me, and that I saw you see in me that day so many years ago.
When you walked into the room, I couldn't keep my eyes off of you. Was it make-believe, or was it a dream? I've been waiting all my life. Feels like I've struck a gold mine. With your hand in mine, our love came alive. We've still got.
I just wanted to say a few words. For quite a long time, my parents have been together, and I always actually kind of thought of them as married because they're just like great parents.
Oh, the rest of our lives.
This is the one. And I remember the first time I met Corina, I mean, everyone in this room who knows, she's just so compassionate. She's just such a loving person that, like, it clicks.
She's done so much for our family. She deserves a lot, and seeing her happy like this, it really means a lot. So, welcome to the family, Blake.